Hello everyone, this is Enea here, and in today's tutorial I'll teach you how to create this split hexagon pattern in Affinity Vector Studio, formerly known as Affinity Designer. This pattern is made of an hexagon that is split in two. As I explained you in my previous tutorials, in order to create a pattern for a pattern fill, we first need to identify the tile, the core element that repeats itself throughout the pattern. In this particular pattern, identify the following tile that I highlighted with a black rectangle. The key to identifying a tile in a pattern is that it must start at the top, where it ends at the bottom, and it must start on the left, where it ends on the right. So this is what we're going to seek to create. And this is what the tile will look like after we have created and exported it. Alright, so to get started, we go ahead and we create a new composition. We give it a 3 and we click on Create. And then we go to View, Guides, and we add horizontal and vertical center guides to the composition. And then we're going to start drawing the pattern. So we take the polygon tool. We set the number of size to 6 to make it an hexagon. We set the stroke to none, and we set the fill to any color. I will set it to orange. And then, while holding Shift to preserve the proportions, we go ahead and we create an hexagon. Here in the transform panel, we click on Lock Aspect Ratio to preserve the proportions. And we set its width to 100 millimeters. And then we center it in the middle of the composition. The next step is going to be to split it into two. So we take the pen tool and we draw a line from top to bottom of the hexagon. And then with the move tool, we select both the line and the hexagon. And we go here to divide, to break it into two parts. And then we select the right part. And we set its fill color to white. And then we select both parts. We press on Ctrl G to group them together. And then on Ctrl J to duplicate. And then we're going to scale it down. So here in the transform panel, we select the node in the middle to rescaling function to it. And we set the height to 50 millimeters. So half of the original height. And lastly, we flip it horizontally. So now we have our hexagon. And then we select all the elements and we press on Ctrl G to group them into one big group. And then we press on Ctrl J to duplicate. And then we position the duplicated hexagon here at the top right. And then we press on Ctrl J again. And we position the other hexagon here at the top left. And then we select both hexagons at the top. And we press on Ctrl J to duplicate them. And we position them here at the bottom. So make sure that everything snaps. So now we have all the elements that we need to create the tile. So we take the rectangle tool and we are going to delineate the tile. So we set the fill and the stroke to none. And we draw a rectangle from the middle of this hexagon here to the middle of this hexagon here. So now we have drawn the rectangle and we are going to export its content. So we go to File, Export. We set the file type to PNG. And here as area, we select selection area to export only what's within the rectangle. And we click on Export. Alright, so now we have exported the tile and we can use it to do a pattern fill. So we create a new composition. We take the rectangle tool, set the fill and the stroke to none. and we draw a rectangle all over the composition. And then to do a pattern fill, we take the vector float fill tool, which is located here along the shape builder tool. And then we go here to set bitmap fill, and we select the tile that we just created. We click on the composition, and this creates a pattern fill. And then we can adjust the nodes to make the pattern bigger or smaller. We can hold Shift to lock the angle. Alright, so that was it for this tutorial. You learned how to create a split hexagon pattern in Affinity. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye!